What's up, Capstone family? This is Ed Drummond coming at you on this Friday, the 17th of June, 2022. It is session number 102 for Capstone Weekly Update. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe as we're going to continue with content. One of our big, one of the things we really want to do this year that we're going to start here in the third quarter is putting out content that's very specific to different situations in the real estate market. I think that we sit in a very unique space right now, being in Phoenix, being on the sales side, property management side, maintenance side, all of those pieces and how they interconnect. I think it's super interesting. And realistically, from an educational standpoint of seeing the things that we see, we're hoping that it helps you as the owners, it helps our tenants, it helps potential buyers, it helps potential sellers, and just being on top of the market and understanding what these shifts are doing, how they affect you, and how we can, of course, take advantage of the market, but at the same time, when it's time to hunker down. And this week was a very interesting week in real estate. Rates changed, of course. Fed increased rates. Interest rates did a little step, started high, came down a little bit lower. I think that we're at a rate right now that isn't the worst, but let me tell you, it's almost twice of what it was a few months ago. So buyers are really having a hard time, and it seems like our market out here has stalled. Check out that active listing graph on our website, and you'll see that we're over 10,000 houses on market consistently now for 2 weeks, and it's just still going up. There's kind of a sentiment right now where people were trying to time the market perfectly, and if they didn't, now they're realizing that things are starting to sit. Homes are starting to sit. Our institutional buyers that we go to first and foremost for offers are starting to drop their offers. We're starting to see those things. So again, I think that it's time to ride through this storm, just see how it all shakes up. Buyers will, at some point, things are going to shake up to where they pricing is probably going to start tapering off like this and not shooting up like at the trajectory it was. But again, it was inevitable. Those that we're talking to on the lending side, whereas a couple of months ago weren't thinking that we were going to stay at these high rates through the end of the year, most are sounding like it's inevitable that these rates are going to be consistent through the rest of the year. So this is just what we're going to have to do. Also, saw something on Realtor.com this week that had to do with buyer remorse in the market, and how 70% of buyers that purchased with an ARM, 5-1 or 7-1 ARM, 70% of them were disappointed in the purchase, and that they had to rush so much to get into the purchase that they made. Whereas it was, less than 60%, I think it was closer to 55% of those with conventional fixed loans. So definitely an interesting market out there. There are deals, there's still things to be purchased, but I think right now it's a good time to be just happy that you're in a position that you own real estate, or that I'm happy that I'm in a position to own real estate, knowing that I'm not going to be selling and my exit does not have to be sooner than later. Another topic I wanted to bring up this week, and this stems back to our property partnering. At the end of the day, we don't want to spend a bunch of your money when it comes to rehab, when it comes to keeping the property maintained. However, there is a balance that these properties we need to follow to keep up with the market. The hedge funds that came in to buy all these properties are spending a lot of money in fixing them up after they purchase them. They do a really nice job, and that's our competition. When we have a property on the market and it's sitting, or let's say it needs a little bit of rehab, and we've got to price it accordingly because our competition is high. This week, I had a conversation with the team. We inherited a property recently, and it had come over from another property management company. And the property management company was exceptionally reluctant to increase rents, and as we found out, it was really not in the position to be helping with any sort of repairs. So the property is an amazing, amazing property, tons and tons of potential. However, rents are about half of what they should be. And I'm talking in an area where rents are very strong. So we're working through numbers and looking at, hey, what's a real projection look like if you were to just increase rents and do the bare minimum to get it up to where it should be for, like, just any rental, right? I always use the litmus test in the past. Would I live in this property? Would I put a family member in this property? And that's always been kind of our litmus. Like, let's at least get it to that level. Sometimes they go a little bit more. We're not in the business of, replacing kitchens or, bathrooms for the most part. We'd rather do a bathroom than a kitchen, but, kitchen painting and painting cabinets is not out of the question in most situations. Appliance packages, yeah, we replace those all the time. So I think in this market, it's spending a little bit of money to make that money and to keep it within, we need to keep it riding and keep it within what's happening in that neighborhood. Once you have a tenant that doesn't or expects something because they've lived in a property so long and are not maintaining the property accordingly to what's going on in the neighborhood, or it's causing blight, or it's causing some sort of issue one way or another, like it's time to reevaluate, if not before then. So hopefully as your trusted property partners, as these conversations come up, you'll know that we're coming from a place of caring and a place of just wanting to do what's right for your investment, and oftentimes just do what's right for the tenant too, because sometimes these tenants, they need to hear it. They need to know from a place of authority, like, what's really going on. I think that that's a very helpful place for most people, because again, a lot of people don't know what they don't know. And until we can do it in a particular way, and sometimes it doesn't go as well as we'd like, but at the same time, that's our job. Like, we got to keep these things enforced and make sure that we're treating everybody the same. I hope this message finds you doing exceptionally well. Hope you're not too hot. My AC went out this week. I think I have had 3 ACs go out this year so far. My house, one side of it totally went out, so we're balancing between these two AC units. It was kind of funny this week, just dealing with it, dealing with the Arizona heat. Right, it's kind of fun, but a little bit of adventure throws it in our week there. It was fun. My Belle, she dances like crazy, so it did slow down her dancing for a minute. But I appreciate you watching. Have an amazing weekend, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. See ya.